All right, another upgrade to our consulting is, a lot of our doctors, again, we have our 9 chiropractic freedom wealth strategies. And one of the strategies is knowing how to hire, train, and manage associate doctors. It creates, it's the easiest source of passive income you'll make. It's the cheapest source of passive income, how much money you have to spend to get a 6-figure return. And it gives freedom. So it's totally life-changing. I say this to chiropractors all the time. I say it's totally life-changing when you learn how to hire and manage and train associate doctors. Because remember, there's about 4 different major categories that have to be evaluated, and there's about 5 different business models. And if you don't connect those properly, it pretty much isn't going to work. It's not going to work. You can be guaranteed it's not going to work. So we do those, but here's what we're doing is not only do we obviously teach how to hire, train, and manage associate doctors, but one of the problems the doctors are having is actually getting associate doctors. So what I'm doing is leveraging my time again. So we're using a lot of this live streaming and leveraging to leverage my skill set and my knowledge into my clients. So one of the things we're doing with the associate doctors is I'm creating a site, and basically it's called Free Training How to Start a Chiropractic Office, and it's for students. It's a free membership site for chiropractic students. It'll be marketed for all the schools, and like students, when they get stuff free, they pass it around like wildfire. And essentially what it does is it takes them through, by the way, it's going to be a very good site of a lot of good basic information from the student's perspective. Remember, a student's perspective is very different than your perspective. What they think the issues are versus what they are just very different than a practicing chiropractor. So this site, what we're doing is putting it up, and I'm going to take them through the educational sales presentation, essentially, that I did when I went to schools and sold doctors to come and be associate doctors and be clinic owners with me. So they're going to go into the site, they'll go through an educational sales presentation with all this other free good information. And the bottom line of this is they'll realize that what will happen is, just like when I do the presentation, they realize how much they don't know and how much it's going to cost them and hurt them because they don't know it. That's essentially what happens. As opposed to it happening without them realizing it's happening, because that's what does happen. So it shifts their consciousness from unconscious incompetence to conscious incompetence to where they need a mentor to teach them all those categories it takes to stop from not being successful and how to be extremely successful. So that's what this does. That's what this website is going to do, and that's what it does. And then they need a mentor. So all of my clients are going to be the training centers. And so when they come on and they want a mentor, then we will just assign them accordingly. Number one, we'll see what doctor's ready for an associate doctor, number one. And number two, region. So it'll be based kind of on region and who's ready, okay? But remember, there's multiple models of associate doctors. Remember, there's about 5 different models. So we're going to pay attention to those 5 models with everybody that comes through. So I'm looking forward to that. So I'll put that out into the schools. Let them start signing up for free. They'll start getting all this free information, all the educational sales. Bottom line is we'll create a shift in their consciousness. Bottom line is they're going to have to get trained. And you already know this. If you're a successful chiropractor, chances are you've been trained. So that's what makes people successful, is training. And so we're going to use our offices, my clients, my consulting clients, we're going to use their offices as training centers. And so they capitalize. They get the benefits of being the training center, taking them on as associate doctors or satellite offices, or training them and selling them offices. There's several different business models to work for, and we cover all those. So we're looking forward to getting that. That's already gotten up. I've already bought the domain site, so we're putting all that together, taking them through the sales process, and then a lot of good free information. There's just a tremendous amount of good free information for the student. relative to where the student's at, okay? So that's another way that I'm going to leverage it out. And when I do see enough people, because we're going to be capturing all their names and emails, every now and then, like every 3 months, kind of like what I'm doing with the personal injury attorney, I'll do a live presentation. They can ask questions, call in, but it'll be a live educational sales presentation. So we're going to leverage my knowledge and skill in selling doctors to become associate doctors. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to do it through that type of venue. We're going to the website, sign them up. It's going to be automated. And then I'm going to come in like once every quarter and do a live educational sales presentation and answer questions. Now we're going to have a lot more people that want to be trained in the real world on how to be successful. Okay. And of course, that's what we delegate out to my consulting clients. Looking forward to that. That's going to create some big changes also.